Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. This time with Project Gotham Racing 1 and Project Gotham Racing 2. Hi there. Two games. I'm revisiting two games, Project Gotham Racing 1 and Project Gotham Racing 2. I made an older video in which I showed these two games running on the Xbox and showing them how great they are. But I got a request from a guy who wants to run these on the 360. So is the 360 backwards compatibility just as flawed as the missing PS2 backwards compatibility of the PlayStation 3? Let's find out! I can tell you that this game, Project Gotham Racing 1, actually runs fine. There's actually no issues with it whatsoever. Very crisp display, no frame rates problems at all. Everything works as it should, at least, according to my experiences. This actually is quite flawed on the 360, quite flawed. There's three things actually wrong with this. Sometimes after you've selected a race, the game crashes, and then you have to restart, reload, and just load it again. And then there's the thing that once you've selected, for example, a series of races that you want to race, then you get to a point where you can select the car and the type of transmission. In this game, running on a 360, those two menu screens are actually black. The game doesn't crash, but the menus just aren't displayed. And I'll show you what happens. The screen just is blank, and if you press A couple of times, then you advance, but you don't know what you're selecting. So you just select the default options. I think that's a shame, because this game actually deserves better. But this flaw has been around since the start of the backwards compatibility for this game, and it hasn't been fixed since. But perhaps the black menus not being displayed on the screen is not very obvious, so I want to point it out in this video, and perhaps the guys at Microsoft are willing enough to make this game work. It is. Let me show you what happens. Okay, Project Gotham Racing 1 on the Xbox 360. All the menus and stuff work, so here's the old Xbox starting screen. Load existing driver. So as you can see, I can just show you. Oh, this really looks alright. So this is running very smooth. Okay. So this is running great. Well, whoops. Let's insert Project Gotham Racing 2. I'm not talking to myself, I'm making a video. The wife. Okay, so this actually runs quite well, but there's a menus missing from the... I mean, it's running great. Sometimes it hangs. It's not as stable as the first Project Gotham Racing. And I mean, it's not apparent that it's actually quite more flawed than it appears to be. So the guys at Microsoft didn't manage to change it, but I'm going to show you what is actually wrong with the game.
So press start Mark Vergeer's game, single player, and I just do the Kudo Worlds series. So I select the Sports Convertible series, and you have this menu screen. Press A to continue, and let's go for the overtake. Now, here's supposed to be a menu where you can select the car options and stuff. The music continues, and you can select something. You can press B to go back, A, and there's nothing. It's a black screen. Press A again, then it starts loading again, and you can see that you can advance. I'll boot up the original Xbox and show you which menu is actually missing. So start the race, and the rest is running great. Sometimes it just hangs at the start of a race. It might do so now. It looks great. Looks even better than the. It actually looks like a 360 game. So I have to overtake these cars. I have to show you some of my Project Gotham racing skills. Okay, well, let me switch to the original Xbox and show you which menus are missing. Alright, I'll pause and I'll come back to you. Okay, so now I've turned on my original Xbox with Project Gotham Racing 2. And let me show you which menu was actually missing from the 360. Okay, so press start, create new profile, done. Okay, single player, Kudo World Challenge, Compact Sports Series. Well, you press this, Street Race, 101. This is actually where you select the car that you want to race with. This is actually missing from the 360 version, so you don't actually know which car you can select. And the transmission you can select. This menu, so the car selection screen and the transmission selection screen, that is actually missing. It's not being displayed when this game is run on a 360. So this is a major flaw, which doesn't make the game completely unplayable, but it sort of ruins the fun. You know, you can't select the car that you want. So to me, that's a shame, though. So Florence. A big bonus from running this on the 360 is that the image displayed on screen is actually HD, whereas this is SD. Looks good, but it's not as good as on the 360. So, and just to recap, you can select the race with this screen where you select the car. That is just so this car selection screen and the transmission selection screen. This is actually not being displayed on the 360 version. The 360 version when it's run on the 360. So that's a shame. And sometimes the game hangs. I mean, it loads the level. So this is working great. But this part, not this part, but when this part, where the race starts, then it can hang in certain races. And which makes the game less playable on the 360 than you would like to. So Project Gotham Racing 1, let me turn this off. So Project Gotham Racing 1 is flawless on a 360, and this has actually some missing menus and can hang sometimes when the race starts. So that's a shame. Still, the games are worth getting.
Excellent for dehydration. Water.